right, we're here at the Norwalk Moose Lodge, Homeless One Productions. We're doing big old metal fest here. Headlining band Decrepit Birth and 1,000 other bands playing tonight. Myself, Rockstar Cordova, interviewing here for hornsupmetal.com. Right now, I got with me Bonded by Blood, band out of LA. Why don't you guys introduce yourselves? Starting here.
Jesse Sanchez, bass.
Mario, vocals.
Juan, guitar. Carlos, drums.
Awesome. All right, so we got a nice history on you guys. We're bringers of Bonded by Blood. So you guys,
It's all over. Push.
I got so many bands, I'm like convoluted in my head. All right, guys, so you guys all out of here. Yeah, it's all, yeah, you all look the same.
Pinche greñudos.
So you guys started out of Pomona, and it started with Juan. Where are you at?
Started with us two, Alex, Ruben, and so
Right.
I joined the band a year later.
A year later.
After the band.
Oh,
He's on the first record. Yeah, so. And the demo.
Or punch.
Okay, and it started. Now the way it started with Jose, was the original singer, and he started the band with Alex, Ruben, Carlos, Juan, and then you guys won a Battle of the Bands contest, $3,000, and a couple days at Love Juice Labs.
Once again, Love Juice.
We heard Love Juice earlier with Antagonist too. So can you expand a little bit on that experience? Going through the Battle of the Bands and coming out on top, and then going to Love Juice and recording the first demo, which was 4 pints of blood.
Dude, that was such a long time ago. It's like it's kind of hard to like remember everything, but I just remember it being a little surreal. Just like we didn't even think we were gonna win. We ended up winning, and then like we just went right into writing mode, and then straight to the studio, and then just bullshitted some demo that fucking can't even find anywhere.
Now the bands that you guys were playing, is there any bands that are on that Battle of the Bands that you guys played against?
There's
that
one,
are still around.
There's one. I think it's the Super Tramps. Have you ever heard of that? Super Tramps? Tramps, Super. There's like one I know that I see around now. As far as that, I don't think all the other bands are probably still around.
Very cool. And so you guys did the 4 Pints of Blood, and then you guys released Extinguish the Week on MySpace.
MySpace, what the fuck is that?
That's still around?
It's coming back.
It's coming back with a vengeance, man.
Reinvented.
Freaking, who's got that? Justin Timber something? So then, explain this. We were talking earlier. You guys got a support with that Extinguish the Week. You guys ended up getting a spot with Exodus, and for a 3-day tour in Mexico. What happened with that?
Well, originally we played a couple gigs with them, opening up for them like at the Whiskey and stuff.
Yeah.
And it ended up being really good shows. And then when that came up, at the very last second, the entire show got canceled because of the booking with the flights and all that, which happens a lot in Mexico. And the whole thing fell through, and nobody really knew from the States that if it happened or not. It didn't.
Damn, let's do that.
I know.
So what happened with with MySpace and stuff? Did you find that helped with your crowd?
A lot, dude. Because it's just where it's at now with bands. It's like social media. It helps us a lot. Before it was all about trade, which had its advantages with like if you want to hear a band, you got to get it physically. Nowadays, you just look them up. And there it is.
Right. Right online.
It's because of MySpace that we got signed. Yeah. It's actually because of MySpace that Earache found us.
That's true. You guys are currently with Earache
We
Records.
kind of own MySpace. A little bit of duty.
And then it was in 08, you guys recorded Feed the Beast at J Street Studios. Now explain this. You guys didn't like what the producer was doing with the music, and you ended up actually taking it to where you guys recorded
Back for the demos, yeah, because we had good experiences there, and it's really, really like homey place, not a lot of pressure, real easy access,
Right.
good prices, good people.
So what did the producer do that you didn't like what was going on?
I think from the beginning he had the wrong idea on what he wanted. I think that's what it was, because we didn't really have a chance to talk with him a lot before going all the way to Sacramento. But we just didn't like this final product. It's nothing against Rosen. He's a really cool guy. But we wish it could have came out better because it was a fun experience, but we just weren't satisfied. I think we got a lot better product, and we actually got 2 more songs on the record that weren't on the original that got to get on there. 1 or 2 or something like that.
And then you guys went and you toured. You did some touring across the U.S., Europe, and UK. So how did that happen? Did that happen because of the earache, or is that on your own? Was that?
If you release a record and you're looking towards yourself, you're going to get recognized. People are going to want to bring you overseas, whether you're on a booking agency or not. I mean, people are going to put something to you. It was a lot rougher back then, too. Like just showing up and barely getting paid anything, not really getting anything on the side at all. Just kind of like showing up at bars, especially even in the beginning in Europe and our first tour. We've come a long way.
Yeah, you guys have. And then in 09, Ruben left, or Ruben was replaced with Jerry Garcia, not Grateful Dead.
Damn! Wow.
He came from a band called Taking Over, and then in 2010, you guys released your sci-fi concept album, Exiled to Earth, and I guess that was because the big interest with with Jose with the sci-fi, and then I think who had the alien conspiracy?
It was I think both of them, Jerry, but I mean like for the most part, I guess it was them two collaborating on the entire concept on their own. You know? We just focused on the music.
too long after that, Jose's out, and then you welcome Moro to the band. And so how did you guys end up meeting?
Well, I've been like a big fan and supporter of the band since they started. I went to high school with Alex Lee, so I knew him like beforehand, and I was always like pressuring, hey, start a band, you're such a good player. And finally one day he's like, I got a band, you should come see us. And like, ever since then I've been watching them.
All right.
So then one day, it was ironically on the day of my sister's wedding, Jose called me, you know, and he was like giving this whole speech about how he's leaving the band, and I was like, dude, you can't leave. I mean, you still got like 6 months lined up for tours. Like, what do you mean you just got to leave? You just released an album. He's like, yeah, man, you know, you should really do it. And I was like, well, okay. Well, at first I thought it was a practical joke because we know partially. Me and Jose, because we've been friends for so long.
Right.
And then Carlos called me like 3 minutes later, telling me like more straightforward, hey, Jose's out, you want to try out? And I was like, holy crap, like, okay, Carlos isn't really bullshit, so I was like, alright, I guess I'll learn the song. So I put on my tux, went to the wedding, got home, and just started practicing as hard as I could. In the beginning, I was just a fill-in, I was just doing them a favor as a good friend,
Right.
like, just until they found somebody else, and then wound up at the end of the tour wanting to keep me. Even though I'm a raging alcoholic and a douchebag.
Not so much so you didn't get kicked out, so that's a good thing that you're still
But
here.
at least like I'm happy.
Oh, you're happy.
Yeah, I'm not like violent all the time.
And you have previous experience with another local band, Mutants of War.
Yeah.
And so how long were you with that band before?
I started the band in like 07,
Okay.
and I ended up not exactly quitting and getting fired or anything like that, just mainly getting replaced like in 2011.
Right.
Because I was doing both bands for a while, but after like such intense touring, they were like, hey, we want to keep playing, and you're not here, so I spoke to the agreement that they had to move on, and I was moving on. So like, it was mutual because at the time I was living with them.
Right.
So it wasn't like, oh, fuck you, you're out, get away. It was like, oh, I'm out, but we're still all cool because we're roommates.
There it is.
Yeah. So it was pretty cool. And, like, I don't regret the decision. I mean, I've gotten so far in the past 3 years. It's just probably one of the best decisions I've made. Just enjoying a national act.
There you go.
It all.
So now we go a little bit further. There was a lineup change, another lineup change, and in 2011, Jerry leaves, Alex leaves, and he joins Holy Grail. So explain the Holy Grail thing. It looks like on paper that there was a trade.
A trade?
It wasn't like, hey, let's trade. It wasn't like that. It was just like, hey, like he reached out to us when we were looking for a bass player, and then Alex just wanted to join a different style band. It's just like he just had different inspirations at the time. Still, he's on the road right now, actually.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, they're on the road right now, and he's doing good. He's still hanging out a lot.
Cool.
Yeah, and for the record, I was never in Holy Grail. I was filling in for Holy Grail.
Okay.
That was always a condition when I started working with them. That was actually, it was thanks to them that I got my foot into the, I guess, so to speak, international arenas and got to meet other bands that tour and stuff.
Right.
Because, you know, before that, I was just like everybody else playing the scene, you know, playing different bands of different styles, different kind of metal. Death metal, thrash metal kind of shit. And, you know, with Holy Grail, I got to do that Exodus tour, I got to meet these guys, and filling in with them, I got a break by making a friendship with Bonded by Blood and trying out later, so it kind of worked itself out.
And then it wasn't too long, 2012, The Aftermath, and producer Logan Mader. Now, how awesome is that? You guys get in there with Logan. So, can you expand on that and give your experience, what it was like, what you learned, what you took away from it, how did it help you evolve as a band or progress?
He was the first producer that walked in and he already he did his homework. Like he had an idea of what to give us.
Someone's about to drop shit.
Hurry!
He's dying! The inner musician in me wants to go out. Fellow brother.
The bass gear, man! No! I know there's anything with the bass gear!
I don't think what we don't see off camera is that someone just nearly dropped their cabinet and gear right now, just hitting the rocks. So we're about to jump in and save it. All right, so back to Logan and The Aftermath.
Yeah, it was really cool because he knew what we wanted, and we kind of all clicked. He actually pushed me a lot more as a vocalist. He made me, basically he forced me to discover different talents of mine. Like before, I had never tried doing any like brutal vocals. It was always just kind of like thrashy vocals, always falsetto, stuff like that. And he made me like really like drill into like my range that I had never done before because I was just not stick in my comfort zone. Like I had never tried like doing anything deep and harsh like I did on the Aftermath. Like the song The Aftermath itself was my first ever attempt at harsh vocals. I mean, and now I can sing it 100 times better, but at that time in the studio, that was the only song I was able to track that day. As soon as I was done with that song, I couldn't talk for the rest of the day.
So let me guess, are you now a student of Melissa Cross?
Who's that?
Oh my God, you don't know who this
Melissa Cross?
I've never had a singing lesson in my life.
Well,
I just kind of picked up the mic and started screaming like an asshole.
You see,
Everyone's got their own story.
I just kind of, I was playing bass one day. I was like, man, I fucking suck. Picked up a guitar, started playing guitar. Man, I suck even more. Picked up a microphone. Man, I'm terrible, but all right. I think I can do this. I got the energy. I got the attitude for this. I got the spirit. Yeah.
I got the pants.
I got the pants.
Got the pants.
that'll get that falsetto on.
Right?
So how about the rest of you guys? What did you guys take away from Logan and your experience of being with him in the studio?
He just was more on our level. He was a musician himself. He's toured. He knew what it took to like get everything on every aspect. He's a guitar player. So when it came to the guitar, like he helped us a lot, especially on like a lot of little key parts, stuff like that. He was just really chill, no pressure. Like he was at his own home studio, so it was like time wasn't even like in essence. It's just at our own leisure. So it's just a little bit more relaxed.
Back for how professional it was.
And it was in Hollywood, so we didn't feel like far.
Right, like 20 minutes away.
His Exile was Arizona,
Right.
And then Feed the Beast was like Sacramento/Riverside, but it was just a crazy week because we had 3 days to do the record in Love Juice. First
Wow.
night. And I busted out like the drums in like 6 hours, some shit. It was nuts.
What were your because the sound you guys have, I mean, you guys bring a lot of different influences in. So obviously the original members of the band had a
Heavy
different.
nuclear assault violence.
Yeah, and even like DRI and like some of the old school hardcore Boston East Coast hardcore scene. But where have you guys evolved now, and how have your influences moved along?
Everyone in the band is something completely different. Like I think the only people similar are like Taste or me and Carlos. But like for the most part, everyone else has like such a broad spectrum of what we listen to. Like he loves a lot of MJ, Michael Jackson.
Really? Wow.
A lot of music, like a lot of really like funky as fuck stuff, and like a lot of like industrial, of course metal. Like me, I'm into a bit of everything, like old school hardcore, punk rock, like rock and roll, acapella, like everything. Like just as long as it's cool singing, I'm into it. Juan's into like all this crazy stuff that ain't
Does he talk?
I'm into like.
Oh, there he talks. There's a voice.
I mean, I like all kinds of metal and other shit too, like Rage and Red Hot Chili Peppers and shit. But like some of the major influences for me lately have been like bands like Animals as Leaders, Periphery, and Meshuggah.
Oh, there you go.
And Jeff Loomis. Love that.
Oh, shout out Jeff Loomis.
Shout out to Jeff Loomis.
He's a good
He's
friend
the
of
guy
mine.
you have to talk to get in. He's a legend, all right.
Of course.
He's a great dude.
He's great. He's hitting
Really
a far.
fun guy.
What has been your experiences now as Bonded by Blood? How are you trying to stay? Are you now, because you guys are all with all your influences and stuff? Are you trying to keep the dream alive, or are you guys trying to go down a different path and try to stay at the same time, stay true to your fans?
Well, like we always have had like a thrashy sound. We're not necessarily trying to write thrash records all the time. It's just how it comes out.
Yeah, we just write what feels right at the moment.
Like, if you dissect our music really carefully, it's like, yeah, the drumming's thrashy, but everything else is kind of off in its own way. Hold on, this guy needs
We're gonna ask for a lighter.
Yeah, come in the middle of the interview, and we're gonna.
Hell yeah! It's all this guy's for kicks.
We don't got nothing else going on.
Yeah.
That better be a damn good cigarette.
Tasty. Too tasty.
All right, go on.
What was I saying?
Just about trying to stay true to
yeah.
your fans with their,
So,
with
like,
their influences and stuff.
A lot of our riffage isn't exactly like thrash as fuck, like just power chords, like or whatever. Like we have a lot of intricate shit that we do, and a lot of the singing I do isn't necessarily like thrash as fuck either. Like I try to like incorporate different aspects of singing into like my vocal style. Just everything we do as a whole just kind of comes out very thrash influenced. So like.
Now, who are the main writers? Are you guys collaborators?
We all collectively
right.
write, like we all basically do our part. Like I write mostly all the lyrics now. Juan writes all the riffage, and Jesse does Carlos drums. Then we all together get together and basically work on the arrangements and stuff like that.
We'll write at home and we write together.
We literally like do it really raw, like the old school bands. We kind of sit in the garage and play until it stops sucking.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's a good bar.
And keep it honest too. Like if there's something that we want to rework, we'll say, hey, let's change that up a little bit. You know, we just gotta keep it honest.
Yeah.
A lot of bands will like, you know, will sugarcoat themselves too much. You know.
Well, we're gonna be playing this music for a long time, so we're gonna make sure that like it's
How old are you guys, by the way?
I'm 23.
We just turned 26. So.
Babies.
Doing this long enough. It's like forever.
So all right, so you guys are young, you guys are full of life.
Yeah.
I guess.
That sound way too gay if I did that. But what has it been like being out on the road and touring?
The people you meet is just like an experience you can't put a price on.
It's all a lesson, pretty much.
You just learn everything.
You learn the most on the road. It's the hardest thing, but it's the only way you can learn to like expand. There's bands like Soilwork's a good example. Like,
Good people.
I don't think any of us really listen to Soilwork like drastically. Well, I mean like one of them before, whatever. Like you don't really appreciate a band even if you don't like the CDs until you tour with them and see them 30 times, 30 days in a row, and then dissect like each member, get to know them, and once you get to know them and see them live, it's just somehow it's just like influences you whether you're into the style of music or not.
That's another thing about touring. A lot of bands get the rep for being assholes, but really, like every band I've been on tour with, I've never had this pleasing.
Besides one or two, but we're not going to say that.
Yeah, we're not going to say the names.
Surely
but, like,
should, but we're not.
Really early in the days, like, there was a few bands that kind of treated us like shit because we were kids, basically.
Sure.
They're seeing
In
all these
their
little
eyes.
runts running around hungry, and they're just like, "Fuck these guys! We're gonna give them hell because we had to go through hell."
Right.
And but for the most part, like as of lately, like I'd say like since Death Angel, it's been nothing but good times. Well, Death Angel, that time, and good times.
Yeah.
We did this tour in 2011. That was just a train wreck, and we were mistreated by every band, with the exception of like one or two.
It was like
1.5.
it was like they chose to like hold their own flags and like cause shit. Like each band had their own like section of like instead of being a whole family, which it usually is on tour, like they just didn't want any part of it. It's just kind of weird.
Now-
Besides that, I mean,
Did you guys have to? Now you guys are signed on with Earache. Did they finance a lot of your tour? Do you guys have to pull money out of your own pocket?
No, we gotta put money out of our ass somehow. Like,
they don't finance.
Just whatever bookings that you guys come across is how you guys get fed. So that brings me to the question as to like, how would you guys being in your early 20s and out on the road, what would you tell young musicians right now who are trying to follow in the footsteps of Monted by Blood?
Get a job right now.
Because by the way,
Save every last fucking penny because you're gonna blow about $2,000 in a year or two. Just on eating and vehicle repairs.
Right. Yeah, it costs a lot of money to stay up there.
Yeah, I mean, a reliable vehicle. Don't be afraid to put down that extra few $1,000.
It's all about prevention. You just gotta think ahead.
Think ahead, don't
always
stress
have
the little
backup
things.
plans. Just practice a shitload. Be with the right people that you want to be around all the time.
And a lot of the thing for young bands is don't stress the little things. I see the band. I kind of laugh about it now because I remember when I was in a local band, like I see other bands arguing about shit. I was like, fuck. I remember when that used to bug me. I got more serious shit to worry about now. Like, is the band gonna make it to the show? Are we getting paid tonight? And you got these kids arguing. Hey man, you're 20 minutes late to practice. It's like, get over it.
Wondering when you're gonna shower.
You missed practice.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, the longer you tour, the less shit bugs you.
But it's all worth it. Like at the end of the day, you know, it's all.
The less you rip your hair out over little things, little pet peeves.
What about like jokes you guys play on each other, like any pranks or anything like that?
I mean,
or other
kinda.
bands that play pranks on you guys?
Dude, in Europe actually, we were on
yeah,
a tour
we got-
bus. And,
we got
oh,
TP
Vader, we saw a lot of.
on stage.
Yeah, well, on stage we got TP by the sound.
By the sound girl, we
but
got
also,
Fog Machine and
remember
TP.
Aborted on the. We were
Oh,
sleeping
Aborted.
and they were
Greatest
fucking with
pranksters ever.
the guitars. Remember when they duct taped the shoe?
Yes.
We woke up-
What?
We literally woke up to laughter and they had duct taped the dude's shoe. The guitarist from Aborted.
Oh wait, never mind.
Mendel, yeah, and they had both their shoes together and they literally made a fucking huge ball of duct tape around both shoes.
There was an
They
even
spent the
better
whole
one?
morning trying to take off.
That was one of
It's
the
like
first
cocoon.
pranks they did to him. The best one was when they duct taped him into his bunk.
Oh yeah.
So when they tried to get out of his bunk, it was just a wall of duct tape.
How
Now
passed
he's
out?
surrounded in duct tape.
Mendel got the worst on that.
Mendel,
job, man.
poor guy.
What's up, Mendel?
Mendel, it's because you're black.
Oh, you're a brother. You're a brother.
He's cool, man.
So,
awesome.
but nothing personally to you guys? Have you ever had?
The pranks were never personal, they were just harsh and hilarious. No one ever took anything really up the ass. Because, like, you know, it's tour, it's fun. You know, if someone seriously got offended, people would apologize.
Yeah.
Like, when people would go overboard and be, like, quick to say sorry because no one wants someone pissed off at each other when they're sleeping in the same place.
Right. Oh yeah.
Like, on our European tour, it was Vader, Aborted, Bonded by Blood, one bus. So, close quarters.
It's like a frat house.
Yeah. It was like
Wow.
a party with a bunch of
It's like that movie Animal House.
Yeah.
But like
Sleep in the
tour.
shower.
Always an animal.
It was awesome because everyone was really quick and apologetic. Like if anybody ever like did something discomfort or pissed somebody off, they were quick to, hey man, I'm really sorry. Please don't be mad because
all love,
you sleep
baby.
below me.
Oh, love.
I don't want to get cup checked in the middle of the night or kicked in the face. Well, yeah, it's just like a giant family.
Right on. So that's good news for a lot of the people watching this. There's good times to be had on the road. You just got to be respectful of each other.
Yeah,
So
I'm
what-
actually surprised Peter didn't lynch me on that tour. Vader.
Oh, okay.
I managed to piss him off twice and like really bad. One night I puked in my sleep and he stepped in it. Another night I was banging some chick while he was trying to put his stage clothes away for an hour. And he was trying to put his stage clothes
The
away
whole band
and say
chilling
bye
in the downstairs
to his
lounge,
friends.
just sweating after playing. The whole band, all
Yeah,
of
yeah,
them,
yeah.
waiting for this guy to finish.
Oh,
I
that's
saw his butt cheeks.
And it was like an hour and I
Everyone saw
actually
it.
left the light on because the chick had a rocking body. So I wanted to see everything and everyone could see my ass. But like, yeah, Vader wasn't too happy with me, but you know, I apologized and they were really understanding. But also literally surprised they didn't just beat the shit out of me right then and there.
wow.
You're just like, you're a young man, you're a stallion. We understand. Fucking asshole. We're just like, oh man, I'm sorry, I'm glad this tour's almost over.
Well, it sounds like we're switching over bands right now. So, and that means you guys are about ready to go load in.
Yeah,
So, really quick, what's next right now after this?
We're actually starting to write a new album right now. We just started ripping out ideas.
Yeah, so 1 year on the aftermath, and now
It
you're
won't
ready
be out
to
till
go.
like maybe next year because we just started writing.
Okay.
So we're gonna be writing as much as we can before the North American Gamma Bomb tour with Artillery and Fueled by Fire.
Okay. There you go.
And, yeah, as soon as we get home from that, we're gonna hit it again. And, we're looking to hopefully hit the studio by winter,
Okay.
but if not, maybe early next year, so it can be another spring release.
And are you guys going back with Logan, or are you guys just
We're
separate?
really thinking about going back to Logan because he gave us a great product. He was really easy to work with.
Local.
He's local
Local.
and he's amazing at what he does. And he
really
puts
is.
in a lot of it. Like he's not just like, okay, fuck this, and you're getting paid. No, it's like if he thinks something sounds lame, he'll stand up. I don't.
Yeah, I love that.
Which
kind
is
of
cool.
He's a good addition, and he's already on a comfort level from day one with all of us. So it's like, that's what we want. We don't want to start with someone fresh and
Yeah.
chance of failure or whatever.
Just never let him become a Bob Rock.
Right. No, we're not gonna do any leave beside me. Tell me what they know.
All right, so best way to get a hold of you guys: Facebook,
Facebook, Twitter. What else do we have?
Facebook.
My Facebook.
Smoke signals.
Smoke signals.
We don't have Instagram, do we?
Well, I have an Instagram individually.
I think it's on
not as a-
newchat.com.
Yeah, I don't think we're that hip yet. We don't have like a personal Instagram. So.
You can follow my Instagram. I always put up
follow
backstage
Jesse,
shit. At Jesse the Kid Lives.
Where he lives at, he's got a door in a tree somewhere.
But he's not Armenian, so he's out of place.
Right on. All right, so let's wrap this up. I always end this off. It's a common thing. We're on
ponytails, bro.
we're on hornsupmetal.com, so everybody give up your horns up and let's fucking go in there, rock it out. You guys are awesome. Thank you very much. Bonded by Blood. Fucking go fucking check them out. Check them out on the next tour dates. Fucking do this.
Oh.